because he's earned the right to enjoy his life, by getting in the ring and doing what he's done.
Pro boxing fans, in the morning after with Teddy Atlas. Teddy, we did speak last night, and I do value your opinion, as all the fight fans do. I didn't need to ask you about Deontay Wilder. After what you saw last night and after what you saw from his performance previous to that, do you feel like this is it? This is potentially the end of the Bronze Bomber?
It's a decision for him. He has to make that. His family has to make that with him. Obviously, he knows that he's already thought about it, and he's very close to that decision and to that door of going out of the sport, because he said it. He said it very honestly in the press conference at the weigh-in. He said that if he doesn't get the result that he obviously wanted or win, that he would have to be thinking about leaving the sport. So he's already thought about it. Obviously, at 38 years of age, this is a very unforgiving business. Everybody's only got so many punches in them. I always say that a fighter's age is not judged chronologically like we do other people's ages. For me, it's always judged by the amount of punches they've taken, amount of punishment. That's what kind of tells you your age. He's been in some tough fights. He left a lot in the ring, and so did Fury. But they both left something in the ring on those fights, from those fights. And now you could see, obviously, that his performance has declined. His legs don't look as sturdy, and he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights. I think that's accurate. And, he got stopped again last night. It's definitely, it would not be responsible to not say that you have to think about that it's time to move on. And again, that's his decision. That's not a decision for me. But I would say, just from an outside person who's been in the business 50 years, that you would consider very seriously that he probably takes all the laurels that he's accomplished, all the things that he's accomplished, and enjoy it. I think that would be for me, you would have to think about that as a serious thought, because he's earned the right to enjoy his life, by getting in the ring and doing what he's done.
Just a final one, because I know you're actually on the way to the airport. I do want to ask you about Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua. That seems a fight that's going to now potentially happen in September. From what you saw from Dubois and what you've seen of Joshua recently, how do you see that one working out?
You'd have to favor Joshua. The way he's been, the experience. But it would be a good fight. It would be a very good fight, and a good fight for the English fans and for all fans. A real good heavyweight fight, but you would have to favor Joshua right now. And you gotta like both guys, because Joshua, the last year or so, he's found himself where he's gotten to a better place. Ben Davison is part of that. But I also think that Joshua on his own, he got to a place, this is a guy who had a lot of adulation in his country. He's a star. He's a superstar. He's made a lot of money. Eddie Hearn's done a great job with him. Joshua's done a great job. He's been an Olympic gold medalist, heavyweight world champion, the darling of London, of England. And with that comes expectation and pressure. And look, a lot of people say, give me that pressure. For all those millions of dollars and pounds, give me that pressure. I'll take it. But it's easier to say until you're there, in those footsteps or in those shoes. And I think that in the last year I saw a little bit of a transformation with Joshua, where I saw him, he lost the Usyk fights, and I don't think he was in the best of places. And I think that something happened with him where, I said this the other day too, where he suddenly came to terms with, what? I can't be doing this thinking about all the fans, and he's very fortunate. He's got all those fans, but thinking about, pleasing the fans, pleasing expectations from other players. I got to please myself. And I think he got to a place where he got happy. I think he got to a place where he got comfortable, where it's like it's about Anthony and Joshua now. I've accomplished all these things. I don't have to worry about proving this, proving that. I've accomplished so much, and he has. And he's conducted himself well, which is, to me, is the most important thing, outside of the ring, on top and inside of the ring. And now I think he's at as good as places he's been in maybe ever, but definitely in a long time. And I would think that you'd favor him going in the fight for all those reasons, but also Dubois is at a good place now. Dubois found himself. This is a man who, the Miller fight was about redemption. It was about finding himself. And his 2 losses were very difficult losses. Not because he wasn't good enough. He was winning both. He was in those fights with Joyce and with Usyk. And we know some controversy with Usyk, but still, at the end of the day, he just didn't get it done. He didn't get over the hump. He didn't put the whole package together. He had the talent, he had the ability. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been competitive in those fights. But he just wasn't able to bring the other part, the part of overcoming something. The gritty part. And we know he was gritty. But in those fights, when push came to shove, he wasn't able to get it done. And you know what? In the Miller fight, he did. He was faced with the same situation where a guy was trying to break him down. And the guy kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. Guess what? Dubois didn't get broken down. He behaved like a fighter. I always talk about it's one thing to fight like a fighter or a champion. It's another to behave like a champion. He behaved like a champion in that fight. And he found himself. And he was happy with himself. He redeemed himself. And then he brought it last night. He brought it with Hergovich. And that's what won the fight. Him and the people around him. That I think he's got the right people. That their belief in him. That, he won the fight with, catching with the punches and with the right hand, all that, the hooks. No, what really won the fight was his resolve, where he had gotten himself after that Miller fight. And he's a complete guy now. And he's a guy now that can contend with anyone. But having said all that, I would still favor Joshua going in. And I would say that the one thing that they're going to have to work on, he's got a really good trainer. And I know they will. They got to work on not getting hit with those right hands, because he got hit a lot of right hands early on with Hergovich, and he walked through it. But you can't be taking those right hands from Joshua. That would be my way of, looking forward and handicapping that fight.
Teddy Atlas, a pleasure. Have a safe journey home. Always good seeing you, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you so much, Teddy.